I'm Charlie Murren, the CEO and the founder of C.A. Murren Sons Company. When I came out of school, I went to work for Peter Kiewit's Sons Company. So the one drawback to working for Kiewit is that they move you on a regular basis, and I mean every 3 to 6 months. And so I had 2 small children. I had a third on the way, and they wanted to move me and said I was going to leave and start my own construction company.
The earliest thing that I remember is my dad getting up and going to work first thing in the morning. I was probably 4 at the time. Later on, we had the business running out of our house. And so we had a lot of equipment in our backyard. There was a yard back there. I got to play on the equipment and ride on the equipment. We used it at the house a lot.
So after being in business about 2 years and being like every other contractor with a pickup truck, I was sitting at the dining room table one evening and saying, what can I do to set myself apart from other young companies that are just somebody in a pickup truck? And what I decided at that point was I had to emulate a big company. So I decided to change the name after my second son was born, change the name from C.A. Murren Construction Incorporated to C.A. Murren & Sons Company. And at that point, people started to respect me as a contractor because they thought we were either a second or third generation company. I'd hand them the card, it says C.A. Murren III. And they figured old established company, and it started to get work. Things started to get better. So when the Olympics was announced that they were coming to town, there was a civil engineer here in town. He got hired by the Atlanta Committee for the Olympic Games. This was in 1993. And in 1995, he had been working there a couple of years, and he said they were going to build a horse park down in Conyers. Well, they couldn't decide of how they wanted it. At one point, they were talking about temporary grandstands for the stadium, and then they decided, no, we want to go with permanent concrete levels for seating. This was in May of 1995. And he said to me, it had to be done by Labor Day 1995 for the time trials to start for the equestrian. So I had this harebrained idea that I could take a converted curb machine to build the tiers, the different levels, and we could do it in 13 days by doing 2 levels at a time with a curb machine. So we got the contract to do that. And the Olympic Committee said, if you don't get this done in time, there's going to be $10,000 a day liquidated damages. And so I said, if you're going to penalize me $10,000 a day for every day that we beat the schedule, you should pay me $10,000. Well, they didn't think they'd ever have to write that check. We beat it by 10 days. We got a check for $100,000, which got us on the road to making this company be able to do bigger things. We weren't living from paycheck to paycheck, from week to week, trying to make payroll. At that point, we had a cash reserve so we could pursue bigger projects and not have to worry about making payroll on Friday.
As we moved into more industrial and nuclear construction, my dad saw that the safety really needed to step up. And so in the late 90s and early 2000s, he and some of the people that worked with him started instituting a program to create a safety culture in C.A. Murren & Sons Company, which still exists today.
When we started out as a company, production was the #1 priority. Well, what happened back in 2003, one of our local competitors here, they were developing residential lots. They had a fatality. I thought to myself, we have to do something different. We had a superintendent that had worked with me at Kiewit, and I called him up and I said, we want to start a safety program. He said, well, Troy, I've never done safety. I said, well, I'm willing to pay for you to go and get the training or whatever we got to do, but I need you to be the guy. He did, and that's how we got our safety program started. I had brought everybody here to the shop and told them that safety is now the #1 priority because of what happened to that other company, and that we have to change as a company or else we're going to have that same fatality. And that's how the safety program started. I would like everybody to be as excited about the future of this company as I am. I see the excitement and they can see it. When someone gets a promotion where they've been a project engineer and they've moved up to project manager and they're over a pretty complex project. That's, for me, I like that. For them, they like that. Our goal here is to build people that build great things. That's what we want to do. It's a two-sided coin. It's us as a company giving them that opportunity and them as an individual taking that opportunity and moving forward with it.